So the problem I have with winter is when you go to wear a dress outside and it's cold, like wearing the dress is cold. You have to have leggings on underneath, you have to have a lot of slips on underneath, and when you walk, it like bunches up between your legs. But what if there was a way that I could fix this problem? What if there was a way I could line a dress and it's warm enough that I don't have to put lots of slips and I do not need to put leggings on underneath? So that, my friends, is what this video is going to be about. I want to design a dress that is stylish and functional, that is fully lined for warmth, that I can wear in the winter time. All right, what I want to get out of this dress, I want it to be full length. I would like to have long sleeves with it. Maybe. I don't know if I've ever done sleeves, honestly. I'm trying to think. Anywho, full length dress, long sleeves. For the things that I don't know what fabric I'm using. I don't know what I'm gonna line it with to make it warm enough. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna look through my fabric stash and see if I have anything in here. Otherwise, I'm gonna go to my local thrift shop that I have down here and see if there's any tablecloths, bed sheets, fabric, you know, something that I might be able to use to upcycle before I go to the fabric shop. It will be an adventure to see what we come up with. You never know what you're gonna get. Life's a box of chocolates. Yeah. Green. So I found some good stuff in my fabric stash. I have a brown sheet. I have a couple bolts of this purple gold fabric. I think I'm gonna use these for something different. Not gonna use these yet. I have a green tablecloth and a yellow sheet and some brown fabric scrap. I really like the green, but I'm not sure I want to use it on this project. So I'm gonna put that one aside. So pretty much we're down to this. So I have a brown sheet, a yellow sheet, and some brown diamond fabric. We're gonna have to work with this. It's gonna be an interesting dress. So I do have a pattern here. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm not doing a Renaissance-y style of dress. But I might take the sleeves off this one right here. Yeah, we're gonna take sleeves. And maybe hybrid it onto a jacket of sorts, or a vest, like fitted vest here, and then yellow. I don't know. So I'm gonna take these out. So it should be number 2. So let's find number 2. It's just so confusing. There's 3, so 2 shouldn't be too far behind. Oh, there's 2. There we are. So I'm gonna cut 2 out. How do these go in here? It's there. Whatever. I did find another pattern for a vest. It isn't in my size, so I'm just gonna map it out on this paper here and then bring it down to a size that actually fits me. That sucks. Alright. This is when I wish my kids were tinier and they'd sit here and cut things out for me. But I think I found what to line this with. I wouldn't technically consider it fabric though. But it's supposed to retain like something like 80 or 90% of your body heat. So I'm gonna go with it because this whole project is about finding the ultimate winter dress that is warm. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna see what happens. So this is what I got. Emergency blankets. They say heat preservation. I mean, and they're tough, they're durable, so I don't think you'd have to, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna put these in as my liner. This is my grand decision, my big plan. Now, the first thing we're gonna do this morning is I have to iron all the pieces for the vest that I cut out, iron the sleeves, put all of the liner together, put the front piece together, figure out how to fit that emergency heat blanket in there, and figure out if that's even gonna work. After that, I gotta make the sleeves, I gotta make the skirt, I gotta make the bodice part of this, the bodice part that hooks onto the skirt. There's a lot. Yeah, we're still in the beginning. So, yeah, let's go. So I'm just ironing out my pieces here. I decided to take that emergency heat blanket out because I wasn't sure if it was gonna melt if I put the iron to it, and I wasn't about to find out where I'm limited on the fabric that I have. So I just separated them all. And once I got all my pieces together, I went ahead and sewed them. I was trying to try it on here and pin it while it's on me and mark on the chest portion where it needed to be taken in. So it was good that I had the liners so I could do a little bit of a mock-up. And once I was happy with my mock-up, I went ahead and adjusted the rest of my pattern for the vest pieces just so they would all fit. It wouldn't be all cattywampus. And don't mind my apron. Here, I just finished breakfast and I forgot to take it off. For the emergency blanket thing, I put the liner in and it doesn't deaden the sound, which is what I was hoping for. So this part
a big fail.
Also, while I was sewing it all, as soon as the thread goes through here, it just rips apart. It's not structurally strong enough to be able to hold up to the sewing procedures that you need to do. I mean, yeah, it's pretty extreme. So I gotta figure out something else to line it with. It was a good thought though. And it's really warm. Just not unless you want to sound like a piece of tinfoil wandering around and having all the dogs chase you because you sound like a dog toy. And I went ahead and cut out a whole new liner system again. So this is what it looks like so far. I got the collar in. It is all lined. It is lined with like painter's drop cloth, just cotton canvas type material. So it is pretty thick. It's pretty toasty. I have these pieces here, which are going to go on the sleeves to finish the sleeves, and then we'll just finish the bottom. So I was just sewing the bias strip on the sleeves. And then I turned the jacket inside out, and you can see I just folded the bias strip over and put some pins in it. And then I went ahead and hand stitched all that down. Which it didn't want to sit flat. It was being such a pain. And I ended up turning it right side out at the end to adjust it all because it wasn't sitting correctly inside out. Figures, right? So I've got the jacket this far, and I need to pull the liner down so I can get some of the bias tape on the bottom. But I can't put it on my body and pin it and tug it and do it all at the same time. So my daughter's gonna be my mannequin for the next 10 minutes. Watch the pins. Here, can you put the other arm out? Bend your wrist. There you go. Alright, you're all set getting in the pins. Now just keep your arms out for a moment. I know.
Pin on this arm.
I know. It's not poking you, right? You okay?
It was poking me.
You're good now? Alright, just hold your arms for 1 minute. I really need to get a dress form, so I don't need to use my children. Careful that I don't go through all the layers. I'm just trying to pick up the liner and the canvas inside liner and not going through the front. I'm done for today. I've been in here since like 7 o'clock. It's about 6 now. The jacket is done, which is great. My fingers are hurt because I just did a ton of hand sewing on all the bias strip. In the morning, I have to do the skirt, the shirt or dress, whatever, and sleeves, and then it's done. So hopefully I can get a bunch of it done tomorrow. So I woke up this morning and decided I needed more space before we got going on this project. So I made more space and rearranged my room. So we're back with day 4? 3? 4? 3? I don't, anyway, we're back with day something. We're going to work on the dress today. This is my pattern for the skirt. I need to cut out 6 of these. It is going to be lined, so I'm going to line it with the same drop cloth, cotton, canvasy fabric that I did the jacket part with. So I am going to test that out. Conveniently enough, it will be my like mock-up as well. So we're gonna do that. Mock-up liner. There's 6 panels here, and of course you gotta do like the stretch test. So it I think that's wide enough maneuverability because we need the function. Okay, so now I will hopefully have enough fabric. And this, we're gonna need 6 panels out of this curtain and still have enough left over to do the bodice top of the dress. Yeah, we're gonna figure that one out.
So I originally was going to use the yellow fabric that I showed you in the beginning of the video to do the dress itself, but I ended up not being able to work with it the way that I wanted to. It just wasn't functioning correctly, it wasn't hanging correctly, so I went back to my fabric stash and I found this beautiful gold and white curtain panel and decided to try and make this one work. So I didn't have enough of the gold fabric to be able to do the bodice part of the dress. So now we're gonna have to go with the yellow. It's fine. It's already gonna have yellow sleeves, so it's just gonna be the rest of it's the yellow, but I'm gonna use some of this as accent, so it'll still kind of flow. I think it's gonna be fine. I'm on plan like what, like D now? It's alright. This is what we call lack of planning. And not measuring fabric before you just dive right in to figure it out, so. But like I've said before, I come up with a great idea and just go for it and figure it out along the way. So here's me figuring it out again. I'm just sewing the outside fashion fabric. And here's another angle of me sewing the sides of the fabric. I'm just cutting out the liner here using my faithful Harry Potter books as weights to keep my pattern in place. Where this is not directional fabric, I am able to take the pattern and flip it both directions so I can maximize my output for the fabric. This fabric was great. My scissors could just glide across it. It was fantastic. Because invention is born from needing something, I need a dress form. Now I have a dress form. It's my camera stand, but now I need a camera stand. So now I have a tissue box. My phone sits in here. It works. I'm just matching up all of the seams here with the 3 layers, making sure everything is lining straight before I sew it all together. Once I got all of my seams lined up, I just kept turning my impromptu dress stand and pinning all of the seams together, making sure everything lined up correctly. I'm just getting the waist portion of the skirt put on here and getting it prepped to put the zipper in. This is the inside out of the skirt that has the liner and the fashion fabric. The waist is all finished and on. The split for the zipper is ready to go, and the bottom has been loosely sewn together to keep everything in line when I go to hem it. I also have the bias tape that I use to do my hemming on the bottom as well, which is just made out of the liner fabric. I'm just hand sewing the finalization of the zipper in. I like to have them sort of hidden, so I hand sew down around it so it kind of gives like a flap effect so you don't really see much of the zipper. I think it's just an aesthetic thing for me. Skirt's finished. Calling it quits for today. I'm tired. I'm done with the sewing. Tomorrow is making the sleeves and the little blousey shirt that's gonna go underneath the jacket. So we are on the home stretch. So the last thing I want to do for this outfit is I want to do the blouse that has like the boofy sleeves, because I didn't have enough fabric in the gold that I did the skirt with to do a bodice, to do a dress top, which is super unfortunate, but I only had 1 curtain panel, so there was nothing I could do about that. So I was going to use the Wren outfit that had the white sleeves and then just make a top to go under it. That turned out to be a complete disaster. The yellow fabric I had was more of a stretch, and it just wasn't working. I think I'm regretting my choice of fabric. This is miserable to work with. So I actually had to make a jaunt out to the fabric store, and I got just some plain, it's kind of off-white, champagne-y color, just cotton, 100% cotton fabric. I think it's gonna work a million times better. Plus, I made sure to color match it so it like went with the rest of the outfit and it wasn't super tacky. I did do some digging around and I found a free pattern on moodsociety.com.
And it's one of the ones you print out and you tape it all together, so that was an exciting trip of mayhem. So I already went ahead, I cut it all out. I cut out all of my pieces, so this here is the blouse all cut out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started to sew together. There's a hair on it. Get off. Jujums, you've infected everything with your mane. All right, now we're gonna sew, we're gonna pin, we're gonna get this thing put together, figured out.
This is just a shot of me doing a flat filled seam on the shoulders of the blouse. I probably should have pressed it first, but it's okay. You're fine. You're fine. Look. This is just a piece of bias tape that I am pinning in after I attach the collar to the shirt, and then I will fold it over to encase all of the raw edges. And there's the collar all finished, and I found this really cute handmade tag in some of my sewing stuff, so I figured why not, I would put it in the top. And I decided to put the gold fabric that was on the skirt on the shirt to kind of tie it together.
Alright, these are my sleeves. Sleeve 1, sleeve 2. Just did the gather stitch in them. Gather stitch up here. I need to do the cuffs next. And yeah, cuffs, sleeve, shirt. Well, we're good, I think. We'll find out.
I did the same style on the cuffs as I did on the collar of the shirt. I ended up encasing the raw edges in between the cuff. So the fashion fabric is on the outside, and this is just the cotton fabric of the rest of the shirt. This I found to be very difficult as I was having trouble to get everything to lay down correctly. And here I am just snipping down the sides of the raw edge on the inside of the sleeves so I can do a flat fell seam on the inside of both sleeves, so it'd have a nice finish on the inside where it's going to be worn a lot. I figured that was the best way to go.
Alright, here is the sleeve. The cuff is done. This is like a gather thing down here. I'm not sure if I'm 100% like on board with this, but there's a gather thing here, and there's supposed to be another one here, but I don't think I'm going to do that one. I'm just going to do the gather up here at the top. But I have one sleeve. Now I gotta do the second sleeve. Yeah. This was such a pain in the butt. Like, there's just a lot to it. There's a lot to like wrap your mind around. But it's good. I like it. So here's like pretty much the sleeve. The only main concern I have is that it's not gonna be long enough. Like once it's attached up here. So we'll see. Anyway, sleeve. I got the shirt done. I had to redo this cuff 3 times because I put it on backwards. Twice. And there's supposed to be gathers in the sleeve here. I decided I didn't want to do them. And I just did this little cute puckery thing right here. I still have to put snaps or buttons down here. Do the snaps or eye hooks or whatever I'm going to do on the sleeves.
And then I think I'm all done. Yeah, I gotta do a lot of pressing. I have to fix the hem on the dress too. I screwed that up somehow. Here, I'll show you. I started stitch ripping it. Hi, kitty. I started stitch ripping it, and for some reason I made it like, you know, when I was quilting, I went in autopilot. So I quilted the liner and the sheet together to the overlaying fabric, so it makes like this really weird puckery thing when you walk. So I am stitch ripping this out and taking the bias strip off, and then I'm going to put the bias strip back on, but make the liners together separate from the fashion fabric. I don't know if that's gonna work any better, because as it is right now, it's literally like wearing a quilt. So, I mean, as a previous quilter, it's nice, but do I want to wear a quilt? No. I'm so glad that this video is finally done. It's taken me a long time, a few months working on it here and there. It was a big project to take on, and I didn't know what I was doing for any of it, so it kind of turned out to be like an Edwardian-esque style of outfit. I love how the skirt came out. I do like how I changed up the liner, where I hooked it all together. It's much better having it separate. I should have done it that way the first time. I just didn't. I was autopiloting. It actually is pretty warm when I went outside. It's actually really windy out right now, and it's like, I don't know, like 32 degrees, 33 degrees right now. So it actually, the wind didn't go through, which was nice. And the wind didn't go through the jacket either. So the whole trying to make something warm to wear in the winter without having the leggings and all the slips on, that was a success. I should have made sleeves on this, because it was really cold. The wind just went through this, where this is cotton. And I liked the little vest thing. I don't think it works with this outfit though. I think it needs to be a different vest for this outfit, or a coat or jacket or something. This was very fun to make and I enjoyed it. I'm just not in love with it. I think it needs some more tweaking. I wasn't quite happy with the fit. I also put the eye hook wrong. I put it like more on the bust, and it needs to be like more near the waist. Other than that, it's all right. I don't think it's the skirt's something that I'm gonna wear a lot unless I'm going out to like needing a fancy skirt. Just because of the fabric that it's made out of. It snarls like really easy, like stuff can catch on it and it will pull the string out. The blouse, on the other hand, I'd probably wear this a lot. So I think this I would definitely make like a bunch more of and just do different styles. I'm glad I did not do the gather here to make the sleeves poofier, and the one down here. I do find that like it's kind of a weird setup with the sleeve down here where I didn't gather and it's supposed to be gathered in the pattern, that it's the like seam in here is kind of short, so it fits, but if I go like that the snaps pop, and then the sleeve is like really short. So next time when I make one, I'm gonna make the sleeves longer, which I already allotted more length, but you know, those of us that have long arms need more, I suppose.
I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching my video. And if you like what I'm up to, go ahead and hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next time. Bye!